Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We find ourselves not on the Sept of the Green, but in New York City's Chinatown, a night out on the town in the middle of the week. The pack roams the sidewalk. They go down the streets with the various food stalls that are somehow still open because really New York doesn't sleep often. People passing by, vehicles going by every now and again, and they eventually come to a very specific building in a very specific block. It says in neon blue letters, Lynn's Buffet and Family Eatery. When they go in, it is an average-looking buffet. You can see about 3 to 4 rows full of trays of various dishes that are changed out every now and again. Not many customers at this particular hour, and the ones that are there all smell like various heritages of kinfolk. It's not just stargazers in this particular establishment. It seems a lot of people eat here from the Sept of the Green. A lot of people enjoy this eatery. However, when the group gets in there, they're immediately recognized by a octogenarian woman who has been standing by the door near the hostess's podium-like object. She is the one who ushers them to one of the rooms labeled private. The room itself looks a lot like the rest of the buffet, kind of taupe-colored walls, very nice patterned carpeting, and a few tables in the back, one of which can at least seat 4 once the woman who ushered them in, Lynn herself, gets an extra chair just for Olaf's fat ass. This one has steel legs. Once everything's set down and the group gets their assorted trays, Olaf carrying 2 piled high with dishes that clash horribly, though he doesn't seem to care. They settle in. That's when Olaf realizes that he has to go get a pitcher of water himself because Lynn refuses to do it for him anymore. Gets that for the rest of the pack, and then he sits down.
For her part, Maeve has a far modest portion on her plate, having likely taken a good minute to peruse around, only knowing half of the foods, and picking up anything that looked vaguely familiar / promising. And she's probably only grabbed like 1 or 2 pieces of each individual thing so that she can kind of get a feel for what the food's like. But she'll probably be at the table well before Olaf's done with all of his fetching and carrying. And when he returns with the pitcher of water, can probably be caught just staring in, is it wonder? Is it disgust? Who knows? At the 2 ridiculously high-piled plates of God knows what that is all becoming one kind of mismatched mess. Ugh.
Let me tell you this much. Bowl, rice, topped. Butter, topped. Sweet sour stuff, topped. Chicken, Tal chicken, spicy chicken, all different flavors. Duck as well, just for the sake of trying something new. And beef, broccoli beef actually to be precise. A separate bowl because, gotta eat your vegetables.
When you first came in, Chino seemed to kind of disappear towards the front of the restaurant. It's several minutes before he makes his way into the back room again. He's carrying one of those bottles of sake that's like the size of a small Buick. He hasn't realized that it's just for show and thinks it's actually got sake in it. Once he gets inside the room, he'll shake it a little bit, open it up, look at it. Definitely has a disappointed look on his face, and then he'll disappear again out to the front. After several minutes again, you'll see him come in with a case of Tsingtao beer. He'll sit it by the table. Then he disappears back into the front again. A good 10 minutes later, he comes back in, and he has the entire bowl of chocolate pudding from the dessert area. He sits it in front of him and sits down with a spoon and starts eating and drinking Tsingtao beer.
Lynn's
What
gonna
about
fucking kill me.
what about everybody else that wants some of that chocolatey goodness? I mean, I don't like chocolate that much, but other people might.
Dare you to try to get some.
There's more. They have other bowls and other puddings. She'll be a little pissed off. but
That's literally the tray from the bar. I think he just took the whole insert.
they have other trays that they replace the tray with. That's how it works.
Chino looks up at the conversation around him. He's got like a little bit of pudding sticking out of his mouth. He just kind of looks around, looks back to his pudding. You see him reach over and he'll take like one of the little small bowls that you're supposed to put like sweet and sour sauce in or something. He takes a couple of spoonfuls and puts some pudding in it. You see him walk outside and he sets it where the tray was and then walks back in and sits back down and starts eating pudding again.
How generous.
It's just
Very,
snickering it
very
away.
generous.
Yeah, Olaf just kind of face palms, but he leaves it alone. She knows a growing boy. Okay. So now that the door is shut, we gotta talk about the steps we're gonna take to get where we need to be as a pack. We could run together for years, but without a totem. See where I'm going with this?
Oh. I mean, isn't that just what you do?
Well, we probably should have asked a lot of other people how they got their packs started. That would have been something awesome to do before we started this whole endeavor. Shite!
Are the people who actually started the packs even still around?
Katoi's alive.
Chino stops shoveling pudding into his face for a moment, drowns it down with the rest of the bottle of beer, pops open another one. They're fairly simple. You get together, you summon spirit. It either says, sure, you cool, or fuck you, go away, peasants. And then you pack. So it does just come down to who we gonna call. Not
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. Chino turns, takes the spoon, puts some pudding on it, and flicks it at Lucas.
Gets the bowl that he goes ahead and raises. Takes the smudge of chocolate on the rice, eats it.
If we can stop flinging food. Mib. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume you've been doing some research while I was away.
Well, yeah, of course. It's just, it seems kind of hard to find a spirit that would appeal to all of us. So, there's a couple. I mean, there's all the spirits that I tend to by the week. There's all the ones that Lucas tends to, but most of them are fairly peaceable or not very warlike. So I dug around and I thought about it. There's a handful of more warlike spirits, and I totally closed my file because I hate myself. It seems like a good idea to list more than the one.
When Maeve mentions considering non-warlike spirits, you can see his frown just kind of go deep into his face.
Okay, let me
There
scroll
is
through something.
not to be hometown favorite, but many good spirits in Uktanabu. No offense, Olaf. No, you're not best terms, but other than Uktana itself, many good spirits.
Olaf waves a hand dismissively. There are many fine spirits of war in Fenrir's brood. But I do at least have a history with Uktana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's that worth for the rest of his brood. It's a place to start.
I mean, you served him faithfully while you were following him, didn't you?
Of course I did. I had that fucking group of mages under surveillance forever.
Then I don't see a problem. But I mean, there's Bear, for example, but there's Badger, there's Boar, there's all sorts of war totems available. It's just a matter of which can give us a boon and a ban that we can all live with.
Well, if I know our current wormful and I know the direction we're going in, I'd say I do. The name of the game for us for the foreseeable future is going to be Force Recon.
Gets an eye roll from Lucas.
Do not be like that. You're one of the best scouts we have.
I'm very good at what I do. That is true. But I don't like to be typecast as such.
It's not like we can't do anything else.
Hey, so long as there's something that can go ahead and like give us and by proxy the freaking Sept a good boon, I'm all up for it.
Okay, so what I came up with is it's kind of weird, but it seems like it would be good for just that. And I can't strictly recall it as being a member of Ictena's brood, but considering the trend, it seems like all similar spirits are under Ictena. So there is a snake that would grant us better stealth, sneaking up on the prey type of thing. It also has a vicious bite, which, if you consider that Great White Mouse also grants us a strong bite, it adds up to a lot. And, sorry, I lost my place. And, considering how good I imagine Chino is already at it, but it would be a boon to any of the rest of us, being able to sneak up on and then immobilize an enemy. It would make it easier for us to catch a hold of someone and hold them. But it's definitely not something native. I mean, anacondas aren't exactly a New York staple.
Chino's eyebrow raises on his good eye. She mentions Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Lucas goes ahead and pipes up at this. Anaconda is native to native to South America, Brazil in particular, along the Amazon River, actually, he says.
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
They hunt in the water, they hunt on the land, in the trees.
Not listening to that part, though I value it, Mabe. That is good knowledge. Repeat that, please.
South America, Brazil, along the
The
Amazon
A
River.
word. Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
So you're telling me that to summon the spirit, we have to go to the Amazon?
Maeve here told me that summoning a spirit here would disrupt the local sept.
Chino's grin is positively huge and predatory at this point.
I mean, we could try, but I get the feeling it wouldn't go well.
No shit, it wouldn't go well. Okay, a little bit of current events here for everyone present. You know how we often say that New York is the front lines of the war?
That's all I ever hear.
The Amazon's the battlefield. It's home to one of the largest hives in fucking history, and they are constantly clashing with the multi-tribal allied command. Under none other than Golgo Fang's first, the oldest Get of Fenris, in memory.
Blink.
Chino, if his face could turn into that Cheshire grin face for the cat, then it would probably be twice as big as that. He has stopped eating his pudding. He has put his beer down, and he's just so happy that he can't stand himself.
Maeve's going to take advantage of the distraction, snag one of the little rice bowls, and scoop out some of the pudding while he's busy being happy with himself.
Okay, Olaf, I get what you're saying, but just outline it for me. Explain it to me like I'm 5 years old.
Yeah, do that.
Which part of battlefield don't you understand?
Chino smiles. He looks over at Lucas and says, "To go and get this spirit, we are going to have to do more than call it. We're going to have to earn it, Lucas. We're going to have to fight our way to it. Then hold the area that we summon it in while probably being attacked. And then, maybe, if the spirit accepts us, then we have a totem. If not, then we have to fight our way back out. Either way, truthfully, we probably have to fight our way back out."
Okay.
And that's presuming that Gogol doesn't put us to work for operating in his territory.
Chino kind of scratches his face. He seems to be thinking about something. Hey, look, a 10 of lore with 2 successes. Anaconda is a very old member of LWoD. I feel fairly certain we go to ask for his favor. Anaconda gonna put us to work no matter what you elders say. Olaf Raya.
Fair point.
The older
Okay.
spirits tend to request trip or job to gain their favor, something that they need. Guessing Anaconda probably be some type of mission to show stealth, to show cunning. Anaconda strikes from the shadows. Anaconda crushes prey. You see him kind of roll his shoulders. You can see him almost flexing as he's thinking about crushing something.
Well, Maeve is nibbling on pudding.
Anaconda would be worth this.
Does anybody know the temperament of Anaconda? Personality of Anaconda?
Maeve gives a little head shake. Not really.
You have to think Anaconda is serpent. Anaconda will, like a certain serpent, be easy to anger, one would think.
And it's going to be huge.
And a totem of war.
So, you put all these things together, make Chino very happy.
Mhm.
Well, it certainly seems like everything the Sep's gonna need for us as far as a force strike recon group type dealio.
Well, I mean, it's going to make you invisible, and at least it means that the rest of us don't give you away immediately.
Always a benefit.
Yeah, we are going to need to get better at being sneaky as a group.
Yeah, it's not my strong point. It's one of the reasons I thought it was a good idea.
You're gonna have to get good at that, Mib.
So what you're saying here is we need to practice stealth ops, communicating without tongues, without speaking.
Yeah.
Hand signs all day, every day, he says. He mimics a few that he sort of remember, meaning, breach and food.
Chino kind of narrows his eyes. It's not 1952, Lucas. A couple $100 you could get subvocal mics at Army Navy store.
Wait, what? Really?
Blink?
Yeah, really.
That's a thing?
Oh.
That's exactly a thing.
I thought that was, like, only in movies.
No.
Well, I have to pick up a grocery list, he says, as he brings up a little piece of paper and some pencils. Subvocal communication.
I mean, downside is we can't really bind something like that, but working on it.
Good for artillery inside operations. I mean, none of us are glasswalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Either way, this particular quest, it's going to take preparation. We can't just charge in there. If we get past diplomacy alone, we can start worrying about the other half of it. When we get there, I'll talk to my cousin, see if arrangements can't be made so at least they expect our arrival.
Noddle noddle.
And for the love of fuck, given how far we're gonna have to go, we're gonna have to pass through Ptah. That's unavoidable. Now, a pack from this sept already managed to piss them off once. I don't want to repeat. Not under my command.
What'd they do?
The details are hazy, but offense was given. Apparently a door was kicked. Something like that.
We'll try to be on our best behavior and, introduce ourselves so that at Ptah we can go ahead and make a quick jump.
Noddle noddle.
Alright. At least we're in agreement. So Lucas,
Uh-huh.
you're going to learn everything you can from that Weaver box about the area we're going to be entering.
Sure. I can go ahead and produce some travel logs for you.
I mean,
Good.
isn't the Amazon pretty big?
It's pretty big. It stretches for nearly the entire northern section of Brazil. In fact, the Amazon rainforest goes ahead and produces about 40% of the breathable oxygen on the goddamn planet.
And speaking of that, we're going to have to be kitted out with at least better clothes than what we're wearing right now. Something more suited to the environment. Might even have to trim my beard.
You may want to. Temperatures go ahead and ranges from 71 degrees Fahrenheit to 95, and we're coming onto the summer season.
Don't
Fuck.
we have like a crazy rainy season? Is that going to be a thing?
That might well be a thing. I mean, thunderstorms and humidity, they're just a thing that happens in the rainforest, apparently. Although, you have no idea how many times I went to an elementary school with those Save the Rainforest programs. Now I get to really do it! Just without, cookies, my own skin.
Okay.
If we're gonna need new clothes, then I guess we either go on a trip to get them all at once, or give me a list of what I need. Though, truth be told, until I can find another job, I'm gonna have a hell of a time paying for it.
I gotcha. I always gotcha. We need exploratory kits, maps of local areas, compasses, 3 different kinds of compasses, actually, to be precise. We're going through the jungle. Machetes are definitely going to be a thing. Unless we all want to go ahead and go on 4 legs, and that's a different experience altogether.
Wolves aren't exactly native to that region. I'm guessing here.
You would, in fact, be correct.
That's what I thought.
After that, have we thought about transportation along the river? Are we just going to go ahead and hoof it across the mountains, or are we actually going to go ahead and do a riverboat thing?
There's mountains?
Yeah, there's mountains.
Oh, hell yeah, there's mountains.
I
They
mean,
separate
sorry.
Peru from the rest of the continent.
Considering we are summoning spirits that live in river, I would say we're going to need something for river.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of jawboning with locals.
Barge, boat, something big.
Does anybody here know what language they speak down there?
Portuguese, Lucas pings out.
Portuguese. Does anyone at this table speak Portuguese?
Cricket.
Okay.
Twiddles thumbs.
So that is going to be on my list of things to do.
Did we literally just go ahead and choose the totem spirit that's furthest away from us, that's behind the most amount of fire, gunfire, and balefire, and just with a language barrier between us?
Chino looks at Olaf, then looks at Lucas, then looks back at Olaf, then looks at Lucas, and the look on his face is totally, did you expect anything else?
Maeve shrugs kind of helplessly.
Lucas, nothing worth doing is easy.
And nothing we ever do is easy.
Shrug.
I have known the lot of you since you were cubs. There's not a single fucking thing any of you have ever done that was easy.
Chino seems to shrug. He realizes he's out of chocolate pudding. He looks over at Lucas's chicken. And looks up at Lucas. And looks back at the plate.
The plate goes ahead and gets slid further towards Lucas. You got that. There's a buffet over there.
He kind of frowns a little bit and stands up. Grabs one of the beers. I'll be right back. And heads over towards the buffet. After a few moments, he returns with the entire tray of Kung Pao shrimp. Sits it down on the table and starts eating them one by one with his hands.
Chino, they have plates for a reason. The tray is not the plate.
No. Olaf Raya, you teach me. Cut out the middleman. Fade is middleman. He takes another one and eats.
This is it. I've lived to see the day. My own words come back to haunt me.
Lucas goes ahead and cranes his head outside as the door goes ahead and closes. And that lady is about to get a little bit miffed.
Oh yeah.
Chino,
I won't
Chino,
hear
wait.
about this.
Oh, hold on. And he grabs another one of the little bowls and puts like 4 shrimp in it.
Oh no.
Puts it back out. Puts it back on the buffet. Comes back in. Sits back down.
You know, You know Lynn has my personal phone number, right? I will hear about this for years.
Lynn's the one that's currently getting a little bit red in the face.
Yeah, the one that's getting red in the face. You ever wonder why I answer phone calls sometimes and all you hear is yelling Mandarin? She's half of it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm seeing like one of her nieces.
What?
What?
That's
Chino.
the thing?
Chino stops in the hand that doesn't have a shrimp in it. He raises it up towards Olaf with his fist, like waiting for the bro fist.
Olaf actually gives the bro fist.
Maybe shakes
Chino
her head
says it
slightly.
through a mouthful of shrimp. My man.
The bowl of broccoli beef is pretty much done. Moving on to the sweet and sour chicken. Lucas looked at the broccoli beef. Apparently he liked that more. He's gonna go ahead and pass the sweet and sour chicken to the middle. Anybody wants it, takes it. I'm getting some more.
Chino takes 2 or 3 of the shrimp out of and puts 2 or 3 on Mage's plate, 2 or 3 on Olaf's plate, 2 or 3 on Lucas's plate. It says, "See, Lucas, you share what you pack." And then he slides the rest of the tray over in front of him and starts eating again.
Olaf's been eating these like through one of the plates. He's onto the other shrimp first because they're on top.
Olaf, doesn't it kind of ruin the individual things if you put them into a big old pile?
You'd think so, but no.
Chino
I'd say
says
the
under his
cats
breath,
really-
"It all going to the same place."
Well, in theory, you enjoy the eating part and the flavors part, because otherwise, why not just do like Chino and grab a giant thing of all the same thing?
I like variety, Mabe. I like variety. That's why it's Zhao on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Lucy on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Sunday is me time.
Lucas pops in after getting another meal. I thought it was because that you didn't want any more bullet holes in your pantry.
Also because I don't want more bullet holes.
Blink,
Not that
blink.
that seems to stop them. Things in my cabin, they change around while I'm not fucking looking. I come back, everything's flipped around. Sometimes I come back and things are knocked over. There are obvious signs that people have been in there. And sometimes I think, I don't know, but I have suspicions. Suspicions, goddammit, that paths are crossing that really don't need to cross in that room.
So
Chino
you're telling me
raises
you're
the fist.
seeing
It's hanging there again.
2 different women and they don't know about each other, except now they know about each other, and that's why you have bullet holes.
That's the running theory. And yeah, Chino gets the bro fist.
Why wouldn't you just, I don't know, do like Chino and be completely shameless? And then there wouldn't be fighting.
I do that too, but they're my favorites.
Chino seems
Blink.
confused for a second, and then he realizes what she's talking about, and he just shrugs, reaches across Lucas, grabs the hot sauce, and just starts. He yanks the top off the bottle and just pours it over the Kung Pao shrimp, and then starts eating again.
Oh boy.
Blink, blink.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but those 2 happen to be my favorites.
Doesn't anyone just do that whole 2-person thing?
I believe Olaf is currently doing 2 people, if that's what you're referring to.
No.
No, I know what she's referring to.
Chino raises a finger towards Olaf. "Let me take this one."
Alright.
He looks at Mabe.
She looks skeptical.
"Snow White, we lose in this war because there are not enough of us. Unfortunately, that means we gotta make more of us. One man, one woman don't make enough. So, Olaf, Chino, and one day Lucas, and probably you will not have one mate, but we'll probably have 2. You might have one that you really like, that you made forever, but it's duty to nation, especially you, princess, to have as many guru babies as possible. It's fact of life. You may not like. Or you may like. I know Olaf like, and I like. But you may not like. But one day you like. But.
By now her ears have turned faintly pink.
Nobody's rushing that process.
Nobody gonna rush anything, he right. But that process, that fact of life, the worm is making more babies than we are. And so we losing. It's a fact. So that's why Olaf with 2. That's why Chino he starts counting on his fingers.
The last count was 10.
He counts on his other hand, and he reaches down and pulls off one of his boots and starts counting on his toe.
More than 10, Chino? Seriously?
He goes to his other, pulls off his other boot, starts to pull down his pants. More than 20.
You
Why?
can't count the last 2. The last 2 are hangers-on, and are potentially with somebody else, actually.
Nah.
The point being, it's pretty much what he said. Besides, I did the whole one-woman thing a while back, and I don't want to try that for a while.
Did somebody hurt you, Olaf? Do you want to talk about it? Talk about your feelings?
I do not want to talk about my feelings.
You're going to have to talk about your feelings at some point, because at some point they're going to be inside your head, and us to keep asking these questions till you go ahead and break your heart.
Chino looks at Lucas. Bro code, man. Bro code.
No, it's fine. It's fine or a pack.
What's a bro code?
That is for another day.
Bro code means that we don't fuck with each other that much.
Point being, not too long ago, but long enough, I met a Fianna girl. First,
Chino gets a sharp elbow.
He gets an elbow and a shove, probably simultaneously. He gets shoved into the elbow.
Chino picks up what's left of the cherry comprel shrimp and heads back towards the buffet. And you see it literally, half of them are half eaten. He literally tops it back on the bar and then grabs the sweet and sour chicken and starts heading back.
Oh, yeah, Lynn's gonna fucking kill me, but point being, we were together, went through a lot of shit to be mated with her. She left. I destroyed half my cabin. I was not happy.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you were together. Was it still a time that you enjoyed?
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. But same time, not a thing I like to think about.
Okay, fair enough.
Chino sits down and kind of nonchalantly shoves Lucas and gives him a look. And then he starts eating sweet. Oh, before he starts eating, he puts 2 of each, two sweet and sour chicken on each person's plate. The tray in front of him and starts eating.
God.
You know, I'm going to begin to like this arrangement. Chino gets hungry, brings in a whole freaking tray, and serves the rest of us. No, I think I'm going to enjoy this.
And we are now coming to the next topic. I've yet to choose a beta.
Maeve kind of quirks a brow.
Second in command. He goes in.
I know, just... I mean, even having an alpha kind of seems like just being politically correct at this point. We all know how to listen.
Mabe, you have the blood of kings in you. You're still wet behind the ears. You just made it out of your rite of passage.
Yep.
Lucas, you're good at leading in some aspects. Pathfinder. Do not see command in you. Chino, you've been in this war longer than either of them. Maybe only a little longer than Lucas. You've led men into battle, and you're an Arun in a pack that's going to be under a totem of war. You're my chosen beta.
Chino nods and he pulls up a beer, cracks the top of it, hands it to Olaf.
Olaf takes it.
Says, I accept, and raises his beer to tap the beer bottle of Olaf's.
Yep, Olaf returns the gesture.
Then he grabs 2 beers and pops the tops on them and hands one to Maeve and one to Lucas.
Woot! Lucas already had both his arms up in the preparation for a celebratory kee. So now the celebratory kee is now added with a bit of spillage from the open beer.
At that point, Olaf kind of looks warily at the door. This has been like 3 trays. And they've been here for a minute. He knows that although humans do not possess a rage score, Lynn might be coming close.
Meanwhile, Maeve's most important question is, so, going back to this bro code thing, do I get included in the bro code? Can you guys only fuck with me so much? Or am I like the one person everyone's gonna fuck with?
No, your pack. It's different.
Every few minutes, this little woman walks by the door and gives Olaf a scary, scary look, and then keeps walking as if she's waiting for everyone else to leave, so she can give him a dressing down.
Oh, that is going to be the stuff of legend when it happens. Oh boy. Oh jeez. But to get back to it, Mib, you're one of the pack. It's tougher than bro code. It's higher than bro code.
Maybe I see it like this. We may fuck with you, but no one else gets to fuck with you. Understand?
I'll take it.
And I heard about that thing.
What thing?
Oh god, not the thing.
Yeah, I heard about the thing.
How did you hear about the thing?
I am very good at what I do.
There isn't a
Chino
thing.
looks
What
back and
thing?
forth. He's obviously lost.
You've literally been out of town for like 2 weeks. How did you hear about the thing?
What
Like
thing?
I said, I'm very good at what I do. Mib, this stays here between us, between pack.
I didn't do it?
I know you didn't do it. This thing with the doors.
Oh, that thing.
For the moment, that is a beef I'm going to let you handle on your own.
I'm not sure why everyone thinks I'm gonna like make this into a thing. Senna and I talked.
Chino looks at Maeve, then looks at Olaf. You realize this is something that's been happening since Wolfholm.
Huh.
This is not going to
What?
go away.
Oh, no. I
What?
remember how that adventure went.
See, there were 2 packs in Wolfholm.
There was.
And there's 2 packs now. What does it matter?
It just means that there are always going to be 2.
My point being, for the moment, Ig command focus. We keep infighting to a minimum.
I don't want to do infighting. I already talked to her about it. If she does anything after this, it's on her.
Then we'll deal with it when we get there, if we get there.
Look, as far as I can see it, they have quote-unquote talked. I don't know what conclusion they went ahead and reached, but the next instance we can go ahead and take from there. Because now, Zen points to Maeve, you're a part of a pack. And when somebody fucks with one of us, they fuck with all of us. The reason we don't want to go ahead and keep keep this on the down low, the reason we don't want to burn this feud a little bit hotter, simply because there's so much shit we need to be doing nowadays.
What feud? That's what I said. Is that if she had a problem, she should have just talked to me because there's no point in trying to make a game out of it. In the end, she told me what she wanted to say, which I don't think her little prank, whatever that was supposed to be, conveyed very well. And I told her that I understood, but I didn't agree with her.
What about the next time?
I told her I would do the exact same thing again. And the next time, well, maybe she should take battle command as the person who was highest ranking there.
Chino looks at Olaf. This question, I think I have to ask.
Plink.
And he looks. You just roll into town with many guru, strong guru. When these steaming eye show up and they ask for Cinna, he kind of cocks his head to the side. Which side we gonna stand on?
I assume we're going to tell him to sit and spin.
We stand on the side of the Sept of the Green.
We have already come in with like 1,000, not 1,000, with plenty of reinforcements from Jacobson's.
Can
Cinna,
I
Chino
point
raises
out-
a finger. Hold on. I understand what you say. But what best for Sept of Green is we give her ass to them?
So let me make a point, since I was there, and say that they're not just here to take Cinna. We sheltered her. They think that we're tainted or whatever. They're going to come after us. They're going to go after Morningkill and his family. They're not just coming for Cinna. They're coming for all of us. Hell, they started battling over the sept we were in while we were there. I'm worried about them.
Chino hasn't stopped looking at Olaf.
And Olaf is stroking his beard. He's managed to get a bit of the sweet and sour sauce in there in the process.
Flavor saver.
Totally.
I mean, I don't always agree with Cinna, but handing her over isn't going to change anything.
In this
It
case, it's a
might.
moot point. They're coming to our turf to fuck with us in our own backyard. We don't let that shit stand. I don't care if they're coming here for Cinna or to take a fucking hair comb. We fight them. We are wolves. This is our territory.
Nado.
Chino nods and he kind of smiles. Had to be asked.
I understand. Besides, when the Fenrir get involved, you're in for a fight.
So I hear. You can tell there's more to that statement than what he was talking about.
Dun, 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 dun. Not sure Peony would actually reveal that much more, but why not? I have the dots. 3 successes.
I'm just going based on an assumption.
Yeah, more than likely he's talking about Eric.
Okay. That is not the assumption Maeve makes, but she doesn't know anything about that, so no amount of peony is going to save her.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, it looks at Chino. It's been a while. I don't know what you heard about what went down after that incident. I know Katori Raya knows. I know a lot of people knew by the time things were all said and done. I trust you'll be able to handle it.
Chino nods.
Good. Wouldn't have made that call if I didn't have complete faith in you.
See, Chino kind of rolls his shoulders again. That flexing python look kind of coming across his body.
By the by, does Chino actually have that new tattoo?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. Do you guys want to go ahead and make a list of issues around the Seth that are totally political and we totally need to go ahead and like have a stance on?
Do we really need to get involved?
I
Well,
don't
I
want
think
to.
Olaf's about to be involved whether he want to or not.
Pretty much.
Do you want our opinion?
Mm. This is valuable. For the matter of Gleaming Eye, I think we all know where we stand on that. We hold our ground and we fight.
Chino nods.
For the matter between my tribe and Chino, the way the Fenrir see it, might makes right. Chino is strong and he's also our packmate. I stand with him.
Absolutely. Pack stands together.
Of course.
Any other political issues?
We have
Chino smiles.
had a bit of change in the regime.
You speak of Warder and Wormful.
Mm-hmm.
And Master of Challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Ah yes, Logan Gravis.
Chino adds, and the former hero that is sitting in jail.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to look into that.
You want a story?
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead and try to repeat this as best I can, concisely as I can, without bleeding too much into opinions and biases.
Chino leans
Okay.
over, grabs an entire six-pack out of the case and puts it in front of Olaf and then sits back.
Oh, he's gonna need this.
Yeah, Olaf starts on it.
Okay, it occurred about several weeks ago when apparently a new initiative was being created, or at least pushed through by the mayor's office. Full Force Solutions, as you know, was kind of signed on to go ahead and patrol the park now. Right after that, we had a little bit of a moot, and at that moot, the Titanium Brand went ahead and made this declaration, gave this order, do not exasperate the situation between us and the Full Force Solutions that are currently in the park. He made it explicitly clear, hey, we've gone through this before, all we need to do is keep our heads down and not give them anything to look into. No suspicious behavior, no suspicious people, yada, 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 yada. Basically, keep our heads down, don't cause a mess or a ruckus here. Now, Ragamuffins were talking to each other like we ought to, but in this case, it was a really interesting affair. No lights, no faces, just voices, like we usually do. We sort of talked about the situation, and Aaron the Glasswalker came up. He was very boastful, talked about how Full Force Solutions, Megalodon, several other corporations were all in this thing together, and how literally they must have gone ahead and persuaded the mayor's office, yada yada yada. It went over my head, but he seemed to have like a handle on it. So, Aaron the Glasswalker, as well as Chloe the Black Fury, as well as Eric Strongoff, the Yetta Fenris,
Skovgard.
Skovgard, excuse me. I do apologize for mispronouncing. Skovgard. As well as Rin Brennan Chaldagaya, they went on a little bit of a mission. Aaron leading. They broke into the mayor's office. From the reports that I got back from Chloe and Eric, they took precautions. They wore gloves. They made sure that they were relatively clean. entirely clean. Didn't leave a speck of themselves back there. Aaron, being of his tribe, was able to keep any digital evidence far outside of reach, or at least deleted, destroyed, whatever have you. And they go ahead and get to the mayor's office. And unfortunately, there's a hostage situation. And the hostage, who is now being declared a martyr, Steve, he was taken to a restroom and executed by Eric by the command of Aaron, the Glasswalker. I apologize if I get those two names mixed up every so often. So, in that room, in the mayor's office, they were able to procure physical documents. They were able to procure digital documents that I believe the Glasswalker is still going over right now. And they also found a no-shit secret evil lair and chamber behind a portrait. Apparently the mayor is much more than she seems. Mayor Flick, that is even her name, because apparently she had an entirely different persona behind that portrait. And while Aaron and Eric were in the main chamber, Chloe and Rin were in the secret chamber, and that's when they saw the magical mirror that went ahead and showed, well, a woman that was off, a woman that you really couldn't say was fully a woman, but descriptions I'll go ahead and leave to my tribe mate who was actually there. The mirror was destroyed. You'd have to ask either Chloe or Rin about how that came to be about, but after it was destroyed, they grabbed as much as they could from that secret vault, as much as possible. They got names, they got a letter. I don't know what it's all connected to. I don't even know if it even matters to us, but they went ahead and vacated, ran, jumped out of the third floor building, and made a fair escape. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This is where it gets a little bit more political, let's just say. Early in the morning, Monday morning, after the heist, well, the mayor goes ahead and gives a bit of an announcement. Says that those that broke into the city hall were not as clean as they ought to be. And over the umbrelscape, Teeth of Titanium Raya went ahead and called Ren. After he went ahead and called Ren, he called Chloe, Eric, and Aaron. Apparently it was some sort of interpretation of disobeyed orders. Teeth of Titanium Raya citing that nobody was supposed to be agitating the situation with full force solutions, and that breaking into the mayor's office was literally the opposite of that. In any case, disciplinary action was given. Rin, well, she was deposited at the Otena Shrine after, frenzying and losing part of her face. Chloe and Eric were allowed to regain their sight after giving up their left eye. I was there to heal them. And Aaron the Glasswalker, I just heard a lot of screaming. I didn't get to see him too much. Now, after that, in a more menacing tone, full with threat, Teeth of Titanium Raya went ahead and held out for Travis. A few hours after that, Dear Maeve over here was actually the first one to discover the body of Teeth of Titanium, having been reverted to Lupus, having all of his very, very weird technological attachments to him exposed, having one very, very clear melee wound, probably, actually, I know for a fact from Travis's own clave. Shortly after that, there was a howl from the Truth Catcher, the Beta, saying that Travis Moran had been put under his authority, that Contemplation Mercy was now the new warder, and that Logan Gravis was the master of challenges. That's where we go ahead and sit.
I'm trying to talk Chino drink at least 3 beers.
Spending willpower. It's good. Actually, gotta add this one. Doesn't matter because he's still good. Well then. The beer bottle in Olaf's hand is cracked.
Chino says, like I say, right? Former hero in prison. Now, just criminal.
No, just criminal.
Let me tell you how Chino see this. Chino see this as hero of nation. Talk to a hero of nation. One hero of nation put himself in front of needs and well-being of nation and kill other hero of nation. He not a hero no more.
I will be getting to the bottom of this. Believe you me.
Olaf, you are not the only Philodox that has been on this case. Brennan has also been on this case. You
We've been
may
allowed
want
to
to compare
visit him.
notes.
I am not interested in the opinions of that Philodox.
That's B&E time. Da, 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 da. And you can't see my dice. Bob.
I trust you.
No, Bob. Roll my 7 dice.
Okay. You got 1. You can kind of tell Olaf's pissed off, and he did just rage roll.
Difficulty 4 because of insightful.
Oh, holy fuck. Yeah, you can tell he's super pissed off. You can also tell that under the current circumstances, he probably would have snapped at you if you'd asked him to pass the salt.
Okay, then. Then the Truth Catcher is also a Philodox that's been on this case.
And I will be speaking with him. Believe you me.
He's also allowing visitation, though he stands and, of course, keeps an eye on it while it's happening.
Of course. I would expect no less. Would expect no less at all. I'll be handling that. Yes, I will. Now moving on.
Maeve looks distinctly uncomfortable at this point.
Current wormful, current order. My cousin's reputation is solid. He is a little calmer than Teeth of Titanium Raya. Fine Philodox. Very well versed in punishment rights and case law. He is also a son of Fenris. Good fighter. And at Adrian he knows how to lead. I trust him. On the wormful. Garrett Cosma, not obvious choice. Not in most septs. In this sept, I am of the thought he is what we need. He may not be best fighter, in fact he is not best fighter. But he knows how to navigate the scar and read it. And he knows how to delegate. Something our former wormfoe lacked sorely.
If nothing else, it's good that he's someone who knows how to find out what's going on and knows how to spread it around to the people that need to know.
His new theme of what Garrick's been telling us, his new theme of this regime is information. He wants it, so he can process it, so he can dish it out.
Information's good. It accentuates strength. So long as he doesn't needlessly hold his hand striking, I have no truck with him.
Speaking of both the information and wormhole, we may have our first mission before we even attack.
We're a pack now, we just don't have a totem. Tell me of this mission.
A few nights ago, I meet with Garrett on Rock. We talk about information Chino get during Rite of Passage. Several FFS weapons caches, and then a large potential base of operations for a thing called cult. Speak to Garrett. Garrett say that this information that I got was is now Warder's #1 priority. He and I talk a few plans. He said that our pack is going to be what he said, instrumental in coming days.
Sounds like a word he'd use.
He say that we may end up being ones who will lead this mission.
This will take much planning and much energy.
Yes, their foresights. My kin watching all four currently.
Good.
So we know if anything change. Right now, the 3 sites are weapons caches where FFS turn over weapons to Red Suns. 4th place is cult hangout, hideout place. Chino believe it place where cult is creating Fomori for Red Suns. I believe cult is the pipeline for the Fomori to join Red Suns. Spoke with Garrett on several different things. Potential to hit all 4 at once, to give them no complete surprise. Talk to others, potential attack 2, then hit other 2. Many different things. Just need to sit down with Warder and pack leaders and make a final decision. It's not something we're going to be able to do with one pack, I think.
We're on the same page then. I've been part of more than one raid in these kinds of situations. These corporations, this Megadon, this FFS, these other things. You hit one part of them, they shore up the rest. When we went to hit that Megadon lab after we'd been poking at them for a while, after we hit that fishery, they were fucking waiting for us. We walked in the front gates and walked face first into an armed team with Silver, and another armed team with Silver, and a pack of black spiral dancers after that. They were fucking waiting. We go to hit that Megadon lab. It's like they knew we were coming. They cleared out everything they weren't willing to lose.
Chino nods. That's why I recommend to Garrett we hit all 4 at once, but not sure we have enough hitters to hit all 4 at once. will depend on recon of all sites to determine how hard each site is, to determine how hard we have to hit. But like you say, we must hit fly with sledgehammer. So if we
I got the
hit
feeling.
with sledgehammer, we may have to, again, end up with one or two that may be waiting for us.
Maybe. Maybe not.
I got the feeling it was going to come down to a pack per house, and then all of us sweeping in on the cult place. But I don't know if Garrett's standing by that or not.
That decision comes down from higher than us. Either way, I have a feeling that at least one right I'm currently learning that's going to come in handy.
Head tilt?
There is Philolok's way of doing things. Special right. Binds people who are not under a totem, in a sense. Gives them certain blessings they would not normally have. I have a sinking feeling I will be needing to do this thing in the future.
It sounded like when I talked to Garrett that we going to be leaders when boots hit the ground for this.
Probably.
That's why I said to you as Alpha, probably want to get other pack leaders, other Alphas together and get on the same page before it happens.
I already know I've got the ear of the Stone Ravens. Me and Katori are on decent enough terms. It's
Neighbor
getting...
probably looks thoughtful.
Not sure who Alpha of Striders is with Travis in jail.
Me neither. I'm gonna have to reach out to them and see who's who.
Possibly, maybe Eric? I'm just throwing a name out there now.
At the very least, I can reach out to Skovgard based on our shared tribe. It's not much of a talker, but I can deal.
So, random thought. I know that ravens and I think galliards can do the effect, but is there any way that we could link the alpha of each pack together so that they could stay in contact even while all three packs are at different places?
That Mabe MacFionn is a spirit trick that I don't know, but I've been under the effects of before. See what you can do.
She'll nod.
Bird spirits, spirits of the communication. These are two that you're going to go ahead and look at for mental links.
Well, I've been meaning to do more with the ravens anyways. So, I will try them.
There's also a side project I've been working on. Might come to fruition sooner or later. A while back, kind of around the time Lucas was here, definitely around the time, a little before you may have been, definitely before you, Chino, unless you heard something while you were kinfolk. There are fair running around this city, organized group known as Ape Club. Now, opinions are pretty steadfast about Ape Club. Some people run into Rokea once, they have bad experience, there was balefire involved, all sorts of horrible shit happened, people nearly died. So fuck the Ape Club. Me, I don't think it's so simple.
They had balefire?
The exact details on the Rokea have been passed to me secondhand about 3 times now. And the story gets a little weirder every time. But yes, apparently balefire was involved, though don't quote me on that shit.
I mean, I talked to Edward some about the other things that were in the city. He seems to know a lot more about it.
And Edward is part of my project. I asked him to go and see what he could find out about these lot. The Raven Shifter types. Very, very good at being on good enough terms with pretty much everybody, except for the Rokea.
Nobody's
Well,
on good returns with their okay. He goes ahead and like mimics the two hands together and just clamps the fingers down in a teeth-like motion.
Yeah, even he said they're
Yeah.
pretty much just teeth.
Yeah, his description of his interaction with one to me was that it said 2 words to him. Off fuck.
What?
I don't think it had the grasp of the English language too well.
Ooh.
Point being, if anybody can ferret out information about this group, it's him.
Mhm.
I don't want to make any preliminary moves until then. Fair, I've had more than enough at our hands. And if they're Gaian, I have no quarrel.
Speaking of Farah, there is still that girl hidden underneath that laboratory that we were told about.
Yep, Maeve will point at Lucas and say, at the risk of all this siege on those places getting all the more complicated, we also have to remember all the stuff Edward told us we needed to do.
One thing at a time, just wanted to put that out there.
I'm a child of bear. I'm tracking.
Cool.
I know Katori and I are working on plans for the substation.
Okay, I'll keep working on him. Katori knows what he's doing.
At least I can say tentatively it looks like he and I will probably go and he will call up as many earth elementals that are untainted as he can, and we will make considerable offerings and see if we can give them the strength to branch from one side to the other, put several on each side of the station, and see if we can shake it hard enough to break it down. And then everyone else would have to be ready to jump in on the place that it's fueling. And once the fight was over, we'd probably have to come back, and Katori says he has a right that would cleanse a large area with rain, and we would have to defend him from the tainted spirits there while he did that, but probably only after the original attack is made and handled.
We'll get to that when we get to it. Still in the planning phase.
Mm-hmm. Just keeping you up to date.
Same
1/3 of a
thing.
bigger problem.
Uh-huh.
Still that little umbral trip to realms that are particularly heinous from what I hear.
I know what I'm doing in that realm.
Link,
In all likelihood, I will be leading that expedition.
wouldn't Katori be?
Let's just ask this. What makes you capable in that realm?
I've been there before.
Shit.
I have been there before, and I have been places that I did not think I was going to have to go back to. But I know what I'm looking for. I know what to say.
Okay.
That being said, Maeve, yes, Katori would likely be with me. He is a Theurge, and he is senior to me in rank. Now, is there anything else?
We need a place to live.
Well, depending on how well I can smooth things out with Lynn, there are apartments above us.
Gino kind of puts his beer down. He's been kind of quiet during this whole part of it, and kind of, a mini apartment.
It's like two really, really fucking big studio-ish kind of deals.
Me personally, I'd like to live somewhere closer to the wild.
Don't we all? We serve the Sept of the Green.
Between guardian duties and keeper duties, I think most of us are going to be on the Sept a lot. A place that's, yeah, off Sept, but close enough to make it easy to get there would be nice, if only because I can't drive. So,
Blink, do you think I drive anywhere?
you have the van, yes. Of course you drive places. I go with you when you drive places. You drive everywhere!
There's also the subway that I use extensively.
There's just something I have against metal tubes that hurl through the underground at horrific speeds. And also,
They're
have you
bad
smelt those
things.
cars?
Well, and there's a lot of bad stuff down there, and I've never ridden the subway.
Oh, pshaw, pshaw. I'll give you it for the smell, but if you know what you're looking for, you can avoid all the nasty things.
I don't like having to do that. And Mabe, I will teach you, in case you ever have to, how to deal with the subway. Just as was taught to me when I first got here.
I mean, I only saw one Batman, down there at one point.
I grew up riding those subways, so yeah.
And there's Chino.
There is Chino. I mean, if
Yes.
worst comes to worst and I don't have a ready way to get back and forth, well, I'm making a point of making friends back at Belvedere, and I do still have a room there if I have to crash on Sept, so...
Sweet fuck, there's only like 2 Fianna.
Yeah. I might be kind of stressing it.
Yeah, you might be kind of surrounded by suitors at some point.
What?
That guy might be a thing.
That might be a thing.
But it's not a thing.
Oh, but it will be.
Oh, yeah. Mabe,
Uh-oh.
Mabe,
What?
listen to me. Chases the Storm has likely had a godless number of cubs. He is also one of the oldest lupuses I've ever seen. Next to Siegfried, my old den father. You are the only other Fianna on Sept right now. And you are the blood of the Ardrai. There are going to be eager young men tarrying at your door.
What if I just never go outside ever?
Not an option. I'm not saying that you have to treat their advances one way or the other. I'm just saying be ready.
I mean, Chino already teased me about that once before, but I figure if back home they haven't even said anything to me, it doesn't make much sense for them to just suddenly send a bunch of people over here, so I think he's just being a butt.
I'm not even talking about Fianna land.
Okay,
I am talking about here.
What? But they're just... I mean,
Have
except Gary, he's kind of a creep, but everyone else is nice.
you
They're
seen
just
how many
wrong.
Fiannakin there are?
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, numbers, statistics. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
I like the way you said burn that bridge, because burning's what we tend to do a lot.
We do burning a lot.
A lot of burning.
Meanwhile, I've been with my family. Olaf, why do I hear these things from your cousin, Dimitri? Olaf, why can't you just get with a nice Fenrir girl? Olaf, why do you have to do this to me? Olaf, why haven't you had cubs yet? I need grandchildren. Olaf this, Olaf that.
I feel like... Maybe I'm being unsympathetic, but I feel like that whole thing, that whole situation would be a little different for you than me. Especially at the rate Chino's doing it. I mean, that's just when he stopped seeing for a while.
Look,
Chino has this blatantly the worst innocent look on his face you've ever seen in your life. It's like cartoon so bad.
Totally not even looking at his face because she'll die. He can keep his super creepy, innocent look to himself.
He shrugs, goes back to shoveling sweet and sour chicken, and then he notices the little Asian woman bringing out a full hot tray of chicken wings.
Well, that was going to go to everybody else in the restaurant, but I guess that's not going to happen anymore.
He looks at Olaf. Sorry, bro. Stands up, picks up the tray, goes over, puts it down, picks up the... actually takes the tray of hot wings from the lady before she can put it down, and then wanders
Takes his
over.
little towels on either side and all. Because it's probably hot as hell.
Puts two on each plate, then puts the rest of it down in front of him, grabs one of the little bowls, grabs about 4 or 5 of them, sticks it in there, walks over and puts it down for the lady, pats her on her little Chinese head, and then walks back into the room.
Oh no! Oh,
So-
Chino, no!
Sits
Well,
down
not
and
the-
starts eating again.
Oh, Chino.
Lucas looks to Olaf. So have you already started thinking about how you're going to smooth this thing over?
yeah, I've been
He
thinking
says
about it.
as he actually takes a piece of those chickens for his own plate.
Oh yeah, Olaf's totally eating them too.
Maybe he's just gonna shove hers over to
I've
Olaf.
been thinking. I have been thinking things. I may be talked into all kinds of thoughts and commitments that I did not think were going to happen this soon. I'll put it this way. Out of all the people that want me to go one direction or the other, Mama Lin over there is very much on Team Zhao.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
that's weird.
I have a good relationship with the Stargazers. They like me, I like them. It's not that weird. It gets interpersonal at some point.
No, I just mean people actually affecting who you're with.
It happens all the time. And besides, it's not that dramatic. It just means that maybe I spend more time with Xiao, try to keep her happier, that kind of deal.
Always good to not shit where you eat. He smiles. Shovels a couple of more wings into his mouth. Literally shoves the entire wing, like 3 of them, into his mouth, rumbles them around in his mouth, and spits the bones out into the tub, and then keeps eating.
Okay. I believe that concludes our business for the evening. So, while you all eat, I'm going to go begin the healing. And he shotguns the last beer that he had out of the 6, stands up, belches, and comes outside the private room to the now likely closed restaurant.
Wait. Hold up.
What?
I want to help.
You do not want any part of this.
Are you sure?
Listen and learn, Lucas.
He'll just go ahead and shut up and listen and learn.
And Olaf goes to face the music.
And before he even can get fully out of the room, he hears from across the room, "What the fuck you bring these people here for, Olaf? What the?" And you just kind of hear the Chinese kind of just start blasting across the room. And Olaf is
Angry Mandarin, as far as the eye can
shoulders
see.
just kind of droop.
Lin, he's a growing boy. He eats a lot. It's been a trying time for all of us.
He not a boy, he a bottomless pit.
He has a fast metabolism. You know we all have fast metabolisms.
He ate 2 people's worth of chocolate pudding, Olaf. It's gonna take me a month to get that much chocolate pudding back.
It is not going to take you a month to get that much chocolate pudding. There is that much chocolate pudding in the kitchen right now. You're being dramatic.
No, I'm not being dramatic. What dramatic? No. You listen to me. Don't change my mind. You can't change my mind, Olaf. You know you're in trouble.
Lynn!
How often are you going to bring these people here?
Probably fairly often.
Oh, you're going to owe me big, Olaf. So, when you getting married? And she gives him a knowing look.
I'm like 20. I have like a year before I have to think about that.
Oh, no. You're 4 years late.
4 years late?
4 years late.
Not in this particular place. I'm not in this particular situation.
Thou already have her dress pick out.
And that catches Olaf by surprise. Like, he actually pauses. You can see his mouth was opening to say something, and now it's
And
just
he smiles,
open.
and she smiles, and she's like, that's right, Olaf Trygvason. I have you now.
She didn't mention any sort of dress picking or anything to me, Lynn.
She just kind of smiles that toothless grin. It's okay. You still owe me. I have you now, Trygvason. I have you now. She kind of waves her finger and starts walking away. I have you now.
And Olaf just stands there dumbfounded.
And by the way, as she starts to walk in the kitchen, she stops and pauses at the door and says, your friends all eat all they want, because I have you now, Trygvason. And then she walks in.
Maeve has both hands clamped over her mouth and is like making the most strangled attempts not to giggle out loud.
You see, I thought that we would be doing some work in the kitchen, but apparently, Olaf, you are taken.
I am apparently engaged. Again.
And as Olaf wanders kind of in a breeze, he looks over and he sees on the hostage sand someone has written Zal Trygvason like over and over again, like 50 times with little hearts.
Olaf, you may want to stop her. You may want to stop her now before this gets even more serious.
I don't know what to do. There's a dress picked out. For all I know, they're buying cake and stuff. I don't know.
Who cares if they're buying cake? Who cares if they've got a dress? I mean, they haven't picked a chapel yet. They haven't picked a venue yet.
Says you. Says you.
Did they tell you? No, they're just telling you stories to go ahead and force you into this, man.
I will have to investigate this further, but for the moment, you can eat as much as you want.
This is
I'll eat
this is what I was talking about.
That's totally what I'm going to do.
This is exactly the thing. The thing I was talking about.
Walks over to the unpeeled cooked shrimp, picks up 2 trays of it, walks back over, sits it back down to the table.
See, we were going to eat everything anyways.
You said we could eat he said we could eat what we want.
Are you? How much can you eat?
I've eaten with him. It's a lot.
I never tried.
I've been to his house. It's a lot.
So what you're telling me is there's no full. There is only time to go. Is that what it is?
Chino shrugs.
That's
Take a lot of fuel to run this sex machine.
Ugh.
He's just a love machine. And
Maybe
he
actually
don't work except for several freaking kinfolk. About 20 in total.
Apparently, I am going to live like my fathers of old, with multiple spouses and probably a living shitload of children.
Chino,
my mother
Chino just raises the bro fist.
And Olaf very reluctantly returns the bro fist. It's not that strange. My mother, she has 14 siblings.
Maeve looks a little dumbfounded.
The Trygvason clan grows.
Oh, it's gonna grow all right. And
Whether
now I
you
have
like
to
it or
figure.
not.
Yeah, whether I'd like it or not, I still have to deal with Lucy.
Yep, I'm never leaving my room ever.
Yeah, she has a fondness for firearms.
The last time I saw her, she was literally dismantling and mantling a barrette in front of her motorcycle. Don't know exactly what she saw in me, but she went ahead and flashed me a terrible, terrible stare.
A Beretta and a motorcycle. I can't really count for her taste in firearms, but
No, he say Barrett, not Beretta.
Oh shit!
What's that?
Very
This is a
big
very,
difference
very
for
big
the-
gun.
Mm-hmm.
That is a gun mostly meant for anti-vehicles. It comes with several kinds of bipods and sights, all customizable, of course. But it only
Yeah.
comes in 50.
That's it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
never leaving my room. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna move into the castle. I'm gonna do my business from there, and I'm just never leaving because
We are
this is terrifying.
a guru. You cannot be a nun.
I can try.
You could go undercover as a nun.
And Olaf goes and he gets the actual jug of sake because he knows what they are. And sits down at the table.
Chino
Kind of-
grins. Now you're talking.
Maeve nudges over her little water glass.
And as Olaf pours for each of his pack mates and himself, I believe we can end our scene.
I believe we can. We'll say thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. I see you there. There's at least 2 of you. And we'll see you next time on Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.